The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. A college summary. Libraries found within our colleges and universities are filled with an endless vast of knowledge accessible to anyone willing to peruse through its corridors. However, most do not contain the works of Robert Greene, including the 48 Laws of Power, which offers resources for the acclimation and maintaining of power and reputation. In pursuant to the necessity of our generation to understand the calamities of everyday life, Economic Foundation Media offers the following audio summary of the 48 Laws of Power in a quick fashion for the daily consumer. We highly encourage you to invest time within the works of Robert Greene for the complete rendition of the wonderful theories proven every day regardless of acknowledgement. Inside of the 48 Laws of Power lie at least one transgression and/or one application of the law. In this summary, a common analysis of application in everyday youthful actions will be placed carefully for additive resolve. Law 1: Never outshine the master. Robert Greene himself attributes many failures in his life to the transgression of this law. For it is crucial to appeal to those above you and limit your own radiance in comparison. Everyone can be described as a narcissist on a spectrum, masters more so. Today's social ladder draws parallels to the courts of old. Appeasing the king and queen, you are either a message bearer, jester, honorable knight or duke. Any display of talents procures resentment in the world. Flatter the master, but not too much, for an overfill of the bucket prompts a deadly purge as the flood of Noah. Be as a cautious peacock, studying before displaying your beautiful feathers. A display of magnificent colors attracts a mate sure, but also serves as a wonderful target to would-be predators. First, you inadvertently outshine the master by being yourself. Second, never imagine the master's grace means liberty to the fullest. Law 2: Caution with friends, listen to a former foe. Comfortability breeds lethargy, and bonds often overshadow the truth. An excess in small lies geared towards flattery or maintaining of a friendship often prove more harmful than the instance in of itself. When the opportunity to mercy a former foe to the right as an ally presents itself, there becomes an option to receive a reflection barred amongst those often closest to you. An enemy that becomes a partner will be more indebted to in their own mind than ever conceivable amongst friends. To have a good enemy, choose a friend. He knows where to strike. Diane de Poitiers. Law 3: Conceal your intentions. Concealing intentions leaves a level of mystery, alienating yourself from the common crowd while cloaking the inevitable Brutus move. This is evident within the job application process. Stating endless availability will undoubtedly increase the chances of receiving a job position and retaining it, even if availability is altered post-onboarding. Even more so is the shroud of mystery necessary in courting. Pull back the mask of future desires preemptively, and you will find yourself embalmed within awkwardness and uncomfortability. Better then, to reveal as little as necessary. Let your greatest cunning lie in covering up what looks like cunning. Balthasar Gracian. Law 4: Always say less than necessary. As with finance, the higher the commonality, the lesser the perceived value. Every word uttered carelessly is an opening to appear lesser than desired, more so should you make a blemish in speech. More impressive are actions, holding tribute to the ancient adage known from the times of Babylon. Within a world emphasizing speech patterns of improper dialect, broaden your vocabulary to allow for greater lengths of speech to be compressed into a more concise account, furthering your individuality in commanding respect. Never start moving your own lips and teeth before the subordinates do. The longer I remain in silence, the sooner others are tempted to speak. Hanfitsu. Law 5: Reputation is everything. Through reputation alone is virtually anything possible with a lesser degree of effort. Fear, respect, attention, and grace may follow a strong reputation. Though the acquisition of reputation is an actionable offense in the eyes of many but rewarding nonetheless. Connection to organizations and advisors certainly is a method to garner reputation, therefore power, with a magnitude of attention. For the fame appearing to rest on the opinions of many fosters a certain unshakable belief in a man's worth which is then easily strengthened in minds thus already disposed and prepared. Baldassare Castiglione. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Any attention is better than none. Recall those in entertainment that faded away into the abyss against those known to fall beneath former glory, as in Shia LaBeouf. Even that negative attention allots opportunities to gain wealth against no mention. Being known in any regard for being greater or lesser than the commonwealth is valued more in most than to dissipate. A name without fame is like fire without flame. Indian fable. Law 7. Delegate work but claim credit. No meager employee is remembered in ultimatum for the successful production of a car, for example. Though no CEO is operating the assembly line, they still are accredited for the success. Even Nikola Tesla fell into this trap, selling his patents for a secure wage to Edison. Let then no effort go unrewarded. Take credit for all your work, letting no one pin a name on your back. Instead, delegate the tasks to those finding more reward in completion of the item, often in short term. As is such with internships, no intern will receive credit for success of the company overall, though is crucial as a piece to the program. The vulture feeds off the hard work of others, their inability to survive becomes his nourishment. Robert Greene. Law 8. Force others to make the first move. Hindsight is 20/20. And the best vantage point in a battle is from the watchtower of the fortress to be invaded. If others can be baited into an action or disclosure of information, it offers the receiver the control over dimensions of accordance. When I have laid bait for deer, I don't shoot at the first doe that comes to a sniff, but wait until the whole herd has gathered around. Otto von Bismarck. Law 9. Win through actions over argument. Debate is a rough, ineffective method of resolving disputes. Almost never would a person internally reflect some new truth through argument, but everyone learns a flame is hot when applied to a finger. Show a person to fish, instead of insisting their method is wrong, will reward both parties by the median return to elevation in status through instruction. Never argue. In society nothing must be discussed, give only results. Benjamin Disraeli. Law 10. Avoid the unlucky and unhappy as the plague. Trying to save a flailing man and you will drown yourself. Many wise attribute supreme unluck and dissatisfaction to mentality. If the understanding that perception of positive environment will produce positive consequences, the opposite must be true. Then, if trivial actions like laughter is contagious, so must be mentalities as groupthink. Misfortune is usually the crime of folly, and among those afflicted malady is contagious. Opening your door to the least fortunate and others will follow in its train. Baltasar Gracian. Law 11. Dependence is key. Teach someone to fish, and they no longer need to frequent the fish market. Dependence is the key to quell rebellion for governments. Ensure you maintain this position via reduced instruction. To maintain independence you must always be needed and wanted. Robert Greene. Law 12. Selective deception. As Robert Greene nods, this section is alluding to the Trojan horse effect. Proposing an offering or honesty will lower one's guard enough to enact any devilish activity you have constructed. Unexpected kindness can leave one open to manipulation. Your guile is hidden inside a magnificent gift that proves irresistible to your opponent. Once inside, wreak havoc. Robert Greene. Law 13. Appeal to one's nihilism. Never appeal to your own interests in asking for assistance. You will find yourself receiving no to little help, as you do not often fall under others' interests more than their own self. Try to envision why the person would benefit from assisting yourself, and phrase your request as such. The superior way to make your fortune is to let people see clearly that it is in their interests to promote yours. Jean de la Bruyere. Law 14, Secretive Interrogation. As fortresses are isolating and counterproductive, to work as an undercover spy is if nothing more equal in value to stagflation. Any information received from a credible source, even if false, can offer a window into the mind of an enemy. Using this method with a potential mate is frequently done when it comes to gifts or favorite date locations. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Robert Greene. Law 15, Total Annihilation. Crush all opponents. Mercy is an opportunity to rise again. A formerly defeated foe will have a vengeance stronger than any motivation you could ever attain. To have ultimate victory, you must be ruthless. Napoleon Bonaparte. Law 16, Power of Absence. Too much time spent in one's presence diminishes the perceived value of additional time in the person's company. Robert Greene notes that if you find yourself undervalued, depart for a time. This will increase the once lost honor and respect if done correctly. Turn the tables, be deliberately unpredictable. Robert Greene. Law 17, Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Over a considerable period, though lessened in today's times, people will become bored of routine. It then becomes necessary to stir the pot, both in action and verbiage. Many great generals used mysterious tactics to elicit a blunder or extra time through unpredictable movements. Always mystify, mislead, and surprise the enemy. Such tactics will win each time, allowing for a smaller army to destroy a larger one. General Stonewall Jackson. Law 18, Walls will bring collapse. When walls are erected to keep an enemy out, one often forgets the danger lying outside. Social media personnel filters are digital walls of modernity. Keep all windows open to peer into an opponent's next move. A good and wise prince will never build fortresses, so that they may place their reliance upon the goodwill of their subjects, not on the strength of their citadels. Niccolò Machiavelli. Law 19, Measure your mark. No one person is the same, neither should be your tactics of governance. There lies many caricatures, from the unintelligent to the dangerous ever-remembering serpent. Do not waste tactics, or worse yet injure yourself, displaying the wrong tricks improperly. Never trust the version that people give of themselves, it is utterly unreliable. Robert Greene. Law 20, Never commit to anyone. Holding yourself back to commitment does not ruse harsh sentiment, but puts you at the pedestal of power. Teasing multiple sides with the illusion of membership allows you to reap all the rewards with little risk. Above all, keep yourself free of commitments and obligations, they are the device of another to get you into his power. Balthasar Gracian. Law 21, Seem dumber than your mark. By making yourself seem less intelligent than an opponent, their strength towards you may dwindle. Be impressive but not overpowering. You must not be ignorant, but capable of playing it. Balthasar Gracian. Law 22, Surrender and Mercy. As previously alluded to, by offering mercy you offer a chance at revenge. Make use of this tactic yourself in order to recoup for the real battle. Sometimes losing the battle is necessary to win the war. Law 23, Concentrate your forces. Spreading yourself thin will produce little results for a lot of labor, instead mine one mine as deep as possible for the most valuable ores. Genius thinks it can do whatever it sees others doing, but is sure to repent if every ill-judged outlay. Johann von Goethe. Law 24, Court Games. The ancient courts are still alive today, in our jobs, political spheres, and romantic endeavors. Play the perfect courtier, always being a source of pleasure but one that does not attract too much attention but still gets noticed. Hence politeness is to human nature, what warmth is to wax. Arthur Schopenhauer. Law 25, Project yourself. Though this section is named Recreate Yourself, developing consciousness, presuming you have it, is the only real creation to be done. Besides that, this law is largely to project yourself as the proper character of the times, whose caricature is few and far in between. Doing so will garner the attention and solidify your name through time. Bad theater is bad theater, even appearing natural requires art in essence, acting, Robert Greene. Law 26, keep your hands clean. The two necessary conductions to become illustrious and maintain it are, conceal your mistakes, and make use of the cat's paw. Use a scapegoat for mistakes and all risky decisions that could prove destructive to your character's perception. When confronted by an undefeatable foe, convince them to attack another person who surely can pay them back. Jean de La Fontaine. Law 27, create a cult-like following. Give people something to believe in, and they will follow a charismatic leader into the depths of hell. Since religious views have declined drastically in today's times, it leaves a large window of beliefs to be filled either via propaganda such as done by BlackRock, or yourself. Take formulas from world religions to implement yourself as a common, emotional character whose power and wealth source is unknown. Law 28, be bold. Never do an action on the board you are unsure about, steamroll those you are. Courageous leaders are studied, cowards die repeatedly. Everyone admires the bold, no one admires the timid. Robert Greene. Law 29, foresight. Plan every action to the end. If you cannot yet see it, hesitate for a bit longer. Though if you have a general plan, any interruptions will not throw you off course too largely. There are very few men who are able to think and feel beyond the present. Karl von Clausewitz. Law 30, hide your efforts. Every victory should appear to spectators as effortless, displaying struggle implies inferiority to the challenge. Law 31, rig the cards on the table. Give people the illusion of choice. This law rings very true to America's ruling class. The illusion of two choices with the same, controlled, result in the maintaining of the status quo. Elevate a choice you want selected, force them to do what you want through manipulation via pretending the opposite desire, alter the board to allow only for choices you propose, cut the choices down further. This weakens your opponent, leaving their further open, then presenting two choices in a rock in a hard place option, via hard pressing or false brothers in crime options will set you in control. Law 32, play to people's fantasies. People seldom want to do place effort in changing their lives, but live for the thrill of the fantasy of success. Everyone knows there is an underlying system that everyone must abide by, and some not so much, but if a new leader comes along promising change, everyone joins. Keep your source of power hidden, make people live in your charisma and promise the world, and they will follow you for eternity. Law 33, find their weakness. Everyone has a weakness that can be exploited when pressed far enough. Find it and turn it. Make someone work for your interests. Though play mind not to unleash a beast you cannot leash. Law 34, fake it to make it. Change the behavior you demand of others, and they will begin to adopt it. Walk slower. Those in a rush with less control recognize your stride as a sense of control of your own time. Many believe this is a fairy concept, make them believe it in you, and you will be treated like royalty. Law 35, master the art of timing. Never seem hurried, appear to be more in control than you may truly be. This gives the perception of authority and indeed, demands respect. In a world where some cannot walk without the endless feed of media, be the one unattached to such trends. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet ripe, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Robert Greene. Law 36, disdain items yet unattainable. One day you will have the world. If not currently, however, pay no mind to luxuries one may have that you do not possess. Items without attention lose vanity. Make yourself more illustrious. There is no revenge like oblivion, for it is the entombment of the unworthy in the dust of their own nothingness. Baltasar Gracian. Law 37, fireworks. As attention should be cultivated in your own positive deeds, distract from others. Words put you on the defensive, though visuals often transcends reality through melodies and colors. Think of the significance of a colorful flag, over one of boredom and lameness. Because of the light it shines on the other stars which make up a kind of court around it. I chose the sun as the most magnificent image to represent a great leader, Louis XIV, the Sun King. Law 38, think independently, act in groupthink. Sharing ideas contrary to popular opinion too often or too boldly will stir resentment. As will displays of talent. There is a time to blend in and a time to be an individual, learn them well. Wise men like coffers with double bottoms, which when others look into, being opened, they see not all that they hold, Sir Walter Raleigh. Law 39, stir up waters to catch fish. Emotions on your part will limit your abilities often, but this is also common to a rival. Stir emotions in an opponent and rash decisions will be made to induce a catch. Learn what will throw an opponent off balance, whether anger, confusion, overthinking, anything to turn the table. One who is skilled at making the enemy move does so by creating a situation according to which the enemy will act, Sun Tzu. Law 40, despise the free lunch. Nothing is ever truly free, and often riddled with a trick or hidden obligation. Search for a bargain to find being bargained with. When the job is important, skimp not, or else the result will also be diminished or laced with unforeseen tax. Pay mind not to chase money for the paper value, instead for the luxuries it can be used for. Currency is a faith-based system offering no more value than print when the tides change. If they has given more time to companionship, instead of chasing the almighty dollar, they wouldn't have been such easy marks, Yellow Kid, while. Law 41, avoid a great shadow. Ascension behind a large shadow of something greater than yourself is hard to illuminate. Following after a great parent or mentor and you will likely never attain their level of success, differentiate yourself and greatness will be a step sooner. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after, Robert Greene. Law 42, lay down the leader to scatter the herd. People can be led to follow ideas they will not die for, capitalize upon this to free the masses opposing you. Strike down the mob boss and the gremlins will abandon the plot. Law 43, work on the hearts and minds of others. If no attention is paid to emotions of people, they will grow to resent you. Play on emotions like a fiddle, striking strings to seduce and move others in your direction. This is how great ideas become movements. Working on the masses, however, is the stroke of genius that changes the face of the world, Napoleon Bonaparte. Law 44, the mirror effect. Embodying someone's traits can have a nurturer manipulation, disarming someone and leaving no key to your strategy. It can also be used to mock a person, truly defeating their charisma. Edgar Allan Poe noted the ability to reflect a person's expression on his face to allow for their mentality to populate. A mirror can be the greatest weapon of insight. Under no circumstances should you rush after presuming a mirror effect. A mirror can often be cracked or incomplete, producing only a fraction of reality. Law 45, gradual change. People love to preach change, but too much and people resort to nature and division. People cannot internalize change too rapidly, move too fast and you will find resistance. Slow, careful, change underneath noses will go unseen. Human beings are not designed for relentless, abrupt changes to the way they live or the way they think. Tucker Carlson. Law 46, show superficial faults. Appearing too perfect drives resentment. Display false or unimportant weakness to blend in, and appear dumber than your mark. People cannot be made to feel inferior, do not let this happen. Only the dead and gods can be perfect. You thus wave your red cape before the horns of envy, in order to save your immorality, Baltasar Gracian. Law 47, know when to stop. Win a battle and know when not to invade a fortress laying beyond. Take time to recoup and re-equip to face the dragon lying behind the dungeon. The greatest danger occurs at the moment of victory, Napoleon Bonaparte. Law 48, assume formlessness. This is the most important law, and one the rest relies on. You cannot attack that which does not materialize. Times change and so must you. Staying fluid allows for the most rapid redirection of flow. In a world of politics, people cannot despise that which they don't truly identify. Stay quiet and you can thrive within even the most brainwashed of dangerous masses. When you want to fight us, we don't let you and you can't find us. But when we want to fight you, we make sure that you can't get away and we hit you squarely, Mao Zedong. This has been an audio recording of the summary of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power by Economic Foundation Media.